family, what is going on? Welcome to the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are looking at the current energies. Whoop whoop. Divine timing pops out. So we're just ending, we're at the tail end of Pisces season right now, guys. So there's been a lot of heightened feeling, emotion, intuition. The veil is very thin, etc. Things are popping up for us in order to kind of release, let go, get it out of our way. The things that don't serve us, right? That don't make us happy, that don't make us feel like, you know, excited about life, because that's what it's all about, right? It's about living your highest and best. It's about, you know, it does take work. It does take time and intention. But when we put it in and we see the results, the benefits, it's like pretty amazing, right? And it helps even with dealing with the BS, the day-to-day, the people, places, and things that like don't support, are kind of the naysayers. I've been having a lot of that energy on my mind lately, like how to deal with it, right? In real time. It's so easy to put our energy on those people, to fixate, but really all that does is take away from what is good, what is fulfilling, what is valuable. When we sit and focus on what someone said or did or how they showed up, etc., or why they're acting, behaving in this way, it can become really obsessive. And I feel like that came through in some of our morning messages, right? So I'm just going to look at the current energy. This is a timeless reading for the collective. It doesn't matter as long as it resonates with you, right? That's kind of the rule of thumb. As long as it resonates, you'll know it's meant for you. Okay, I love this. So dreaming. What are you dreaming about? What do you want in your life? What are you trying to draw forth? To me, this is like setting out our intentions, what manifestation is all about. You know, I think especially just like as you get older, etc., you have these little epiphanies of like, oh, this is what life is about. Oh, this is how things go. And how do I want to adjust accordingly? You know, society, culture sets up these certain things that we should be doing, right? But I think we also have to know who we are and what we want and how to dream that dream and put the energy, the time, the effort into that space. Because I do think something big is coming is what I'm hearing. Something, you know, especially if you have been doing the work, something that is more stable. It is more in alignment with you. And that doesn't necessarily mean the mundane or the boring. It just means that you're actually, if you've been doing the work, if you've been planting the seeds, you're calling in what your heart's desire is. And it's beautiful because it is a lot more stabilizing. But there still is this element of, like I was talking about earlier, like places that you might get sucked into the old people, places, and things, especially if you're still kind of working with those energies, the people who are a little bit more lower vibrationally. Not to throw shade, you know, we all have our process, we all have our triggers and our woundings. It's also challenging to work with and around people who are trying to bring us down or don't always have the best intention, you know, who don't want to see us succeed. Because it's painful, right? I think like as humans, as humanity, we want community, we want love, we want support, and we all deserve that. But our like BS ego gets in the way, right? That guy, right? All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's see what's up for the day. For next couple days, what is the energy surrounding us? Okay, so Knight of Hazards. So this is slow movement and growth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. I find it very interesting the way they depict this because he's chained to his steering wheel. And the Knight of Pentacles is very like, you know, he is oriented on his path. It's really hard to detour him, etc. But he's also crashed into this lamppost because sometimes that can be detrimental, right? Like, it reminds me of like if you keep chipping away at the same thing in the same way, you know, what are the results that you expect to get? How can you change it up a little bit? Maybe you do have someone moving towards you that has taken their time. Maybe this is stuff that you've picked up, that you've intuited beforehand. You knew it was coming. You knew it was going to come to head. You just didn't know when. Maybe you were hoping it was sooner than later, right? Because you've been through a lot, you know. This Queen of Wands, like her arm has been chopped up. I love this deck. I find it very humorous. I apologize if it offends anyone. It's such, I think it's fun. Because it's interesting, right? Like the Queen of Wands is someone who's actually very attractive, very like magnanimous. Like she is someone who you want to be around, you know? You like her. She's cool. Interesting. And there is this element of like her kind of putting herself out there. Exactly like we see in that overarching energy, right? New beginnings around what you're dreaming about, what you desire. Maybe it has taken a minute for it to come in, right? With that Knight of Pentacles. I don't know. It's hard. Life is hard, in my opinion. Like, it's enough just like managing yourself. And then you also have to deal with like the people, places, and things that you come into contact with, which aren't always easy. Generally, it's stuff that is like forcing us to get more balanced and more grounded in who we are and what we want. And, you know, it is kind of like, I mean, it is that idea. Like, I think, yes, we can be proactive about change 100%. You know, but it reminds me of that value that we don't always see what is, you know, between the lines. And Spirit has to kind of like dangle certain things, people, places, and things that force us to do the work in a way we probably wouldn't have beforehand. Again, no shade. It's not like we're not conscious about those things, but I think there is this level of like you yourself knowing and then life teaching you. I think both are just as valuable, just as authentic and true. It doesn't mean just because life is bringing in a situation to mess with you that like, oh, you're bad or you're doing it wrong. It's not about that at all. Because this is actually saying that you have learned your lessons, you know what you're doing, you're working to be a little more emotionally balanced with that King of Cups. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Maybe you're dealing with someone who is incredibly emotional, who hasn't been balanced, who you're starting over, starting fresh with in a new way, right? That can be a myriad of things, depending on what the nature of your relationship is. This is someone who does really look up to you and admire you for who you are. That's so beautiful. It kind of goes back to this Queen of Wands, this person who is drawn in by your energy, who's attracted to you, who wants something with you because you are the shit. No, I'm joking. Well, true. We all are in our own way, right? And so that Magician energy is all about kind of trying to figure out, how can I get to this person, place, or thing? How can I connect with it? What are the ingredients? What do I need to do in order to make this thing happen? And they're working, you know, they're putting in the time and the effort. I feel like you're kind of like, nah, thanks, but no thanks. There's a lot of that energy. Protecting what you're building, what you're growing. Especially if this person has been incredibly emotional and even foolish at that, right? Like sometimes when we get too sucked into our emotions, we can definitely be foolish with our energy. So if you've kind of seen the side of this person, you're just trying to keep everything grounded and copacetic while still building your goals, your dreams, your visions, you know? And it might be a little non-traditional. The Hierophant represents our spiritual authority, what we kind of gravitate towards, or morals, etc. And there's something about this where it's like you are moving in a different direction. I feel like this person or situation doesn't want you to. They're trying to hold on, right? To grasp to what used to be, because they see who you are. They see the value, the gifts, the potential. But it's also hard when someone's moving at a different pace than we are, slower than what we want to be when we're ready. And honestly, this is really talking about that readiness being here with the Ace of Hazards, Ace of Pentacles. It's new beginning. It's like the sun in the major arcana. It's expansion, potential. There's a lot of beauty unfolding. And what I love about this Queen of Wands is that she has been through the ringer, but it's made her stronger. It's made her smarter. She knows what's up. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarian energy. So that's all about like our fire, our ambition, passion, the way we integrate into life. Even if we're dealing with people who don't effing get it, which often happens, right? People who aren't hearing or seeing or don't want to talk or whatever the situation may be. We can still allow new potential, new possibility to come in. And maybe you have been giving this person a little bit too much credit. It's the fear of the unknown is what I'm hearing. I feel like you're very aware of what this situation is. I think it's just hard for you because things haven't completely transitioned and changed. And so you're kind of taking this step back to, I don't know. I mean, this is, I don't know. I feel like you're giving this person the benefit of the doubt is what I'm hearing. You're coming through a lot more, sorry, whoo, that scared me. I thought someone opened my door. You're coming through a lot more grounded, a lot more stable. Things have shifted and changed. You're trying to keep yourself in check with that King of Cups energy. Not get too emotional over things. But you're also kind of being a little rebellious, you know, with that Hierophant. You're not specifically diving into maybe what is required or expected of you. You're taking a different path. That's where this divine inspiration comes into play. But, you know, I think you can feel it because it is bringing out, or it is bringing about a lot more stability and direction. You feel it underneath the surface. I think you're like a little uncertain, 100%, because this person or situation's energy does feel really oppressive. Like it, you can't help but look at it, right? You can't help but see it and feel the weight of it, the emotion around it, etc. Again, it kind of, I love this. It goes back to this Six of Hazards, Six of Pentacles, where spirit, universe, God, however you understand, will put things in our path to force us to grow in the way that we're asking, right? In the way that our soul is asking. Our soul being what we are authentically, right? Who we actually want to be, how we want to show up in this world, the life we want to live. Unfortunately, there's just been too much pain overshadowing with that Three of Swords energy. You know, and I think maybe there's a little bit of light being shed on how it's made you a little bit more defensive or on the defensive, feeling a little bit bludgeoned through life experience. I think that this situation is specifically teaching you a lot and this other person a lot. Because again, the energies can be interchangeable, but one person is really working to make things move forward and not let this go, where the other person is working more to step outside of. And I think when there is that disconnect, it obviously brings out this pain and maybe not really understanding. But I feel like, you know, honestly, I'm hearing it as this is a lesson for whoever this other person is or situation that you're dealing with, right? Because it comes back into that value of we can only control and deal with what we're dealing with, right, on the practical level. What's actually happening in real time. And if someone is not showing up the way that we want, if they're saying one thing and doing another, if they're not saying anything at all, we still have to make our decisions accordingly. And that's kind of how I hear this. This is, again, about you building towards more stability and direction, not leaning on a person, place, or thing to make it feel something superficial. That's what I keep hearing, right? It's a superficial idea of safety is what I hear. Yeah. This is someone who doesn't like give themselves a lot of love. Cinnamon is obviously very naturally sweet. It makes life sweet. It's comforting. It's nourishing. It's, you know, I don't know. It's like such a great spice. So it just really reminds me about how this person or situation that you're dealing with, it's more rigid. Seeing it for what it is, I think that's the name of the game for you. Perhaps because you are vibing, as this King of Pentacles energy, there's a little bit more of a tendency to give this person grace and understanding, which is valid. But it's also recognizing, like, almost like don't buy into your own fantasy. Like, you know what this is. You know what this is. And you do want this end result of stability and direction. You know, and unfortunately, this was just a stepping stone or a path to get you to that space. Not always the easiest energy to work with, right? It's humbling when, you know, we really love or care about someone or a situation and we have to let it go. We have to just acknowledge, hey, this is what it is. But from that space, it gives us the strength and the power to make the decisions that are more in alignment with us. So as I was saying in the beginning, we can actually like be happy, right? And enjoy our life. So guys, I hope this helped. I'm sending so much love and blessings to your day-to-day with whatever is going on, whether you're running into this person or just kind of dealing with the emotional side effects of it. I know these things are never easy. Definitely hit me up if you want me to look at your specific situation. Big thumbs up if it resonated. Lots of love and blessings your way.